The screech of tires on wet pavement echoed through the night, followed by the sickening crunch of metal against guardrail. I gripped the steering wheel, my heart pounding as the world spun. But in that split second before impact, all I could think about was him, Jordan Hale, the man I'd spent 3 years pretending to love. When the airbag deployed and darkness swallowed me, the truth I'd buried deep inside threatened to spill out like the blood trickling down my forehead. I woke up in a sterile hospital room in downtown Seattle, the beeping of machines pulling me back to reality. My name is Alex Rivera, and for the past 3 years, I'd been the personal assistant to one of the most ruthless corporate lawyers in the Pacific Northwest. Jordan was the epitome of cold efficiency. Tall, broad-shouldered, with piercing blue eyes that could dissect a witness or a subordinate with equal precision. He ran Hale and Associates like a fortress, defending megacorporations against lawsuits that often involved discrimination claims, including those from LGBTQ employees. It was ironic, really, because I knew from the start that Jordan was gay, even if he hid it behind a facade of heteronormative professionalism. That's why I took the job, not out of admiration, but out of a burning need for justice. It all started back in college when my best friend, Marcus, worked for a tech giant that Jordan's firm represented. Marcus had been fired after coming out, and the company buried the discrimination suit under a mountain of legal maneuvers orchestrated by Jordan himself. Marcus spiraled into depression and eventually took his own life, leaving behind a note that blamed the system more than any individual. Couldn't let it go. With a degree in paralegal studies and a determination fueled by grief, I applied for the assistant position at Hale and Associates, tailoring my resume to catch Jordan's eye. During the interview, I dropped subtle hints about my own orientation, testing the waters. He hired me on the spot, his gaze lingering just a fraction too long. My plan was simple. Get close, gather evidence of any unethical practices, and expose the firm from the inside. Faking affection seemed like the perfect way to lower his guards. On my first day, I brought him coffee exactly how he liked it. Black, no sugar, scorching hot, and flashed a smile that suggested more than professional courtesy. Jordan barely acknowledged it, barking orders about case files and depositions. But over weeks, I persisted. Lingering in his office after hours, sharing personal stories that mirrored his hidden struggles, and occasionally brushing against him in the cramped file room. He was resistant at first, his responses clipped and distant, but I could see the cracks forming. One evening, about 2 months in, we were working late on a high-profile case involving a pharmaceutical company accused of denying benefits to same-sex partners. The irony wasn't lost on me. As rain pelted the windows of his corner office overlooking Puget Sound, Jordan slammed a folder down in frustration. "This is bullshit, Alex. These plaintiffs think they can bleed the company dry over rights that aren't even codified properly." His words stung, but I swallowed my anger and leaned in, placing a hand on his arm. "Maybe it's not about the law, Jordan. Maybe it's about what's right." He froze, his eyes meeting mine, and for the first time, I saw vulnerability beneath the ice. That night, he opened up just a little about his conservative upbringing in a small Texas town, where being gay meant exile. I nodded sympathetically, weaving in fabricated tales of my own, coming out struggles to build trust. As months turned into the first year, our relationship evolved into something unspoken but charged. We'd share dinners under the guise of work discussions, his hand occasionally grazing mine across the table. I told myself it was all part of the act, that every laugh, every shared glance, was a step toward uncovering dirt on the firm. But doubts crept in. Jordan wasn't the monster I'd imagined. He was a product of a system that rewarded ruthlessness. He donated anonymously to LGBTQ charities, I discovered while snooping through his emails, and once he quietly advised a junior associate on navigating workplace bias. Was he complicit or just trapped like the rest of us? Social conflicts simmered around us. At firm events, partners whispered about diversity hires, and Jordan never challenged them openly. I pushed him subtly, suggesting he take on pro bono cases for marginalized communities, but he'd brush it off. "I'm a lawyer, not a crusader, Alex." Yet, in private, He'd confide his frustrations with the firm's conservative clients. One night, after a grueling trial win that dismissed a transgender employee's harassment claim, he came home with me. Our first real intimacy, though chaste, just holding each other as he admitted the victory felt hollow. I lay there, heart racing, wondering if my deception was worth the pain I saw in his eyes. By the end of year one, I'd collected fragments, emails hinting at witness tampering, notes on settlements that favored corporations over justice. But nothing concrete enough to blow the whistle. And worse, my feelings were blurring. What started as a performance felt increasingly real. Jordan's rare smiles, his unexpected kindnesses, like covering for me when my sister's wedding clashed with a deadline, chipped away at my resolve. I found myself defending him to friends, who questioned why I stayed in such a toxic environment. It's complicated, I'd say, avoiding their judgmental stares. The city buzzed with pride parades and protests, amplifying the divide. Seattle's progressive vibe clashed with the firm's old guard mentality, creating tension that spilled into our dynamic. Jordan attended a gala where anti-LGBTQ donors were honored, and I tagged along, seething inside. "How can you stomach this?" I whispered during a break. He pulled me aside, his voice low. "Because walking away means losing everything I've built. You wouldn't understand." But I did too well. That night, back at his sleek apartment, we argued fiercely, our words laced with unspoken truths. "You're hiding, Jordan. From them, from yourself." He kissed me then, desperate and raw, and I kissed back, hating myself for the authenticity in it. As year two dawned, the deception weighed heavier. I started second-guessing my mission. Was exposing Jordan worth destroying a man who was slowly changing? He began rejecting certain clients, citing ethical concerns. And I wondered if my influence was real. But then came the bombshell. A new case where the firm defended a company firing employees for participating in pride events. Jordan led it, and my anger reignited. I ramped up my search, hacking into restricted files late at night, risky but necessary. What I found was damning. Internal memos admitting to discriminatory practices, buried to protect profits. Yet, amidst the turmoil, our bond deepened. Weekend getaways to the Olympic Peninsula, where we'd hike in silence, hands intertwined. Jordan opened up about his estranged family, who disowned him after suspecting his orientation. "I built this life to prove them wrong," he confessed one foggy morning. I shared my truths, carefully curated lies mixed with real pain from Marcus's loss. The guilt gnawed at me, especially when he said, "You're the only one who gets me, Alex." Society's pressures mounted. Friends outed at work, bills failing in Congress, mirroring our internal struggles. One evening, during a heated debate over dinner, Jordan snapped, "Why do you push so hard? It's like you're on a mission." My pulse quickened. Had he suspected? I deflected with a laugh, pulling him close. But the seed of doubt was planted, and our interactions grew tense, laced with unspoken accusations. The second year dragged on with mounting intensity, each day a tightrope walk between loyalty and betrayal. Jordan's cases piled up, each one a moral quagmire that tested my facade. I assisted him on a lawsuit against a bakery refusing service to same-sex couples, the kind of case that sparked national debates and protests outside our building. Picketers chanted slogans, their signs decrying corporate greed, and I had to slip past them every morning, my stomach churning. Jordan dismissed it as noise, but I saw the flicker of unease in his eyes when a rock shattered a window near his office. At home, his place had become our shared sanctuary. I confronted him. "This isn't just business, Jordan. It's people's lives." He poured a scotch, his back to me, shoulders tense. "And what would you have me do? Quit? Throw away my career for ideals?" His voice cracked, revealing the internal war I'd glimpsed before. I stepped closer, wrapping my arms around him from behind. "Maybe fight from within, like you're starting to." He turned, searching my face, and for a moment, I feared he'd see through me. Instead, he pulled me into an embrace, murmuring, "You make me want to be better." But improvement came slowly, fraught with setbacks. Jordan confided in me about a potential partnership offer from a more progressive firm, one that handled civil rights cases. It could be a fresh start, he said over coffee one Sunday. Excitement bubbled in me, not just for the evidence I'd gathered, but for the genuine hope that he might change. Yet, loyalty to Marcus's memory held me back. I encouraged him subtly, all while copying files that could sink Hale and Associates. Social rifts deepened our conflicts. My friends, a tight-knit group of activists, pressed me about my job. "How can you sleep at night working for that shark?" one asked during a bar night. I defended Jordan, my words heeded. "He's not what you think." They exchanged glances, and later, one pulled me aside. "Are you in love with him? For real?" The question haunted me. Was I? The lines had blurred so much that faking affection felt like breathing. Then came the family drama. Jordan's sister, Emily, visited from Texas, a devout conservative who eyed me suspiciously from the start. Over dinner at an upscale restaurant, she probed. "So, Alex, what do you do exactly?" Her tone dripped with disdain. Jordan tensed, but I smiled politely. "I assist your brother with his cases. We're close." She raised an eyebrow. "Close? In what way?" The air thickened, and Jordan interjected sharply. "Enough, Emily. Alex is important to me." Later, alone, he apologized. "She's stuck in the past, like our parents." I nodded, but inside, rage simmered. How many lives had people like her ruined? The turning point loomed as I uncovered a smoking gun. Recordings of partners discussing bribes to judges in discrimination cases. It was enough to go public, but hesitation gripped me. Jordan had begun shifting. He dropped the bakery case, citing conflicts, and started mentoring young LGBTQ lawyers. "Because of you," he admitted one night, his head on my chest. Guilt twisted like a knife. Was destroying him justice or vengeance? Year 3 began with promise and peril. We moved in together, his modern condo in Belltown becoming our haven. Mornings were filled with quiet routines, coffee brewing, shared newspapers, moments that felt achingly real. But external pressures escalated. A wave of anti-LGBTQ legislation swept through states, emboldening Hale and Associates clients. Jordan faced ultimatums: take on more controversial defenses or risk his position. Our arguments intensified. "You can't keep enabling this," I shouted during one late-night clash. "It's hypocritical," he fired back. "And what about you? Always pushing, always judging. What's your agenda, Alex?" His words hit too close, and I stormed out, wandering Seattle's streets, rain soaking me. When I returned, he was waiting, eyes red. "I can't lose you." We reconciled, but the fracture lingered. Amidst this, I befriended a journalist, leaking anonymous tips about the firm. The stories broke, causing ripples. Investigations hinted at partners scrambling. Jordan grew paranoid. "Someone's betraying us," he confided. I feigned shock, my heart aching. Society's debates mirrored our turmoil. Pride events turned violent. Allies called out hypocrites. Jordan attended his first Pride parade with me, masked in the crowd, a small victory that made me question my path. But the deception unraveled slowly. Jordan found an encrypted file on my laptop, careless mistake, and confronted me. "What's this, Alex?" "Research on our cases." I lied smoothly, "Just helping you see the other side." He bought it, but trust eroded. Our intimacy waned, replaced by tense silences. As the third year peaked, a major trial loomed, defending a corporation accused of systemic bias against gay employees. Jordan led it despite my pleas. "This is my job," he insisted. I gathered final evidence, planning to expose everything after the verdict. But emotions complicated it. I loved him truly now, yet duty to Marcus pulled me. The night before the accident, we fought bitterly. "You're changing sides," I accused. He laughed coldly. "And you're too idealistic. Grow up." I grabbed my keys, driving into the storm, tears blurring my vision. That's when the crash happened. In the hospital, Jordan rushed in, face pale. "Alex, thank God." He held my hand, and in my dazed state, I murmured, "It was all fake at first." His expression shattered, but before he could respond, doctors whisked me away. Recovery was slow, bandages and pain meds clouding my thoughts. Jordan visited daily, his demeanor a mix of concern and distance. "What did you mean?" he finally asked, voice trembling. I hesitated, the weight of 3 years pressing down. "Jordan, I came to the firm for revenge. My friend Marcus, he was destroyed by one of your cases." His face drained of color as I spilled it all. The plan, the faking, the evidence. Tears streamed down his cheeks, a sight I'd never seen. "So everything was a lie?" I shook my head weakly. "Not everything. Not anymore." He left without a word, the door clicking shut like a final verdict. The days blurred in isolation. Nurses buzzed around, but my mind replayed our moments, the genuine ones amid the deceit. Society's echoes infiltrated even here. News of court rulings on LGBTQ rights, protests demanding accountability from firms like Hale and Associates. I wondered if my actions had sparked change or just personal ruin. Jordan returned a week later carrying a folder. "I read your files. The evidence, it's real." He sat, exhausted. "I've been complicit too long." What followed was a raw confession. His own guilt over cases like Marcus's, the fear that kept him silent. "I hid who I am to succeed, but it cost me my soul." We talked for hours, bridging the chasm my lies had created. "Can you forgive me?" I asked. He squeezed my hand. "I'm trying, but trust, that's harder." Discharge brought us back to the condo, now fraught with tension. We navigated carefully, like strangers relearning each other. Jordan took leave, poring over the evidence I'd gathered. "We can expose this together," he suggested. But doubts lingered. "What about your career?" He shrugged. "It's tainted anyway." External conflicts amplified our drama. The journalist I'd tipped published an exposé, naming Hale and Associates in a scandal. Partners pointed fingers, and Jordan was summoned for questioning. He went public instead, resigning and providing testimony to investigators. The firm crumbled under scrutiny, lawsuits flooding in from past victims. Media frenzy ensued, labeling Jordan a whistleblower hero or a traitor depending on the outlet. Society debated fiercely. Was redemption possible for enablers? Online forums buzzed with opinions, some praising his turnaround, others decrying it as too late. In our circle, friends divided, mine saw vindication, his felt betrayal. Emily called, furious. "You've destroyed our family name." Jordan hung up, turning to me. "Was it worth it?" The question hung heavy. Our relationship teetered. Intimate moments returned tentatively, but shadows of deception loomed. One night, as we lay in bed, he whispered, "I love you, Alex, despite everything." My heart swelled, but guilt tempered it. "I love you too, for real." Yet controversy swirled. A countersuit accused Jordan of fabricating evidence, baseless but damaging. Protests targeted U.S. Conservatives branded him a sellout, progressives questioned his motives. Was he ever truly on our side? An activist friend asked me. I defended him, but inwardly wrestled. As investigations deepened, personal revelations surfaced. Jordan admitted to suppressing his identity not just for career, but from internalized shame. "You forced me to face it," he said. I confessed how Marcus's death had consumed me, turning grief into obsession. Therapy sessions followed, unpacking layers of trauma. The accident's aftermath brought physical challenges too. Lingering headaches, therapy for my injured leg. But it symbolized our rebirth. We volunteered at LGBTQ centers, Jordan using his skills pro bono. Society's acceptance varied. Some embraced his story as inspirational. Others dismissed it as performative. Tensions peaked when a former client sued Jordan personally, claiming his defenses had enabled abuse. The trial was grueling, media circus amplifying every detail. I testified, revealing my role, sparking outrage. "Deceiver!" headlines screamed. Public opinion split. Sympathizers saw love conquering deceit. Critics decried manipulation. In court, Jordan's testimony was poignant. I was wrong. Alex showed me that. The jury acquitted, but scars remained. Back home, we argued over the fallout. Your plan nearly destroyed us, he accused. And your complacency killed my friend, I retorted. The exchange was brutal, emotions raw. Reconciliation came gradually. A weekend retreat to the mountains, where we hiked and talked without distractions. We both made choices, Jordan conceded. Flawed ones. I nodded. But we're here now. As year 3 closed, stability emerged. Jordan started a new firm focused on civil rights. I joined as partner, not assistant. Our story inspired some, provoked others. Debates raged. Can love built on lies endure? The echoes of the scandal lingered into what felt like a new chapter, but old wounds festered beneath the surface. Jordan's new firm, Hail Justice Initiative, gained traction quickly, attracting clients from marginalized communities eager for representation. I handled operations, our partnership a blend of professional synergy and personal intimacy. Yet, societal scrutiny followed us like a shadow. Podcasts dissected our story, labeling it a modern gay tragedy or redemptive romance, depending on the host's bias. Comment sections overflowed with vitriol. Fake love doesn't turn real, one user wrote. He's just using him for PR, another claimed. Personal conflicts arose too. My family, supportive but distant, questioned my choices during a visit. You risked everything for revenge? My mother asked over dinner in our condo. Jordan excused himself politely, but I saw the hurt in his eyes. Later, he confronted me. Do they think I'm the villain? I reassured him, but the doubt seeded discord. A major test came with a high-profile case, representing a group of gay teachers fired from a private school under religious exemptions. Jordan poured himself into it, arguing passionately in court. Equality isn't optional, he declared. The win was sweet, celebrated with champagne and quiet pride. But backlash followed, threats from conservative groups, vandalism at the office. This is the price, Jordan said stoically, but I worried for his safety. Our dynamic shifted as authenticity replaced pretense. Mornings now held genuine affection. Lazy kisses, shared dreams. Yet, flashbacks to the deception haunted me. During a therapy session, I admitted, "What if he never fully trusts me?" The therapist nodded. Trust is rebuilt, not restored. Society's evolving landscape added layers. With Supreme Court rulings on LGBTQ protections fluctuating, our work felt urgent. We attended rallies, Jordan speaking publicly for the first time. I was part of the problem. Now, I'm fighting it. Applause mixed with boos, reflecting divided opinions. Intimate tensions surfaced during quieter moments. One evening, as rain lashed the windows, a reminder of the accident, Jordan turned distant. Sometimes I wonder if you'd have stayed without the crash. His vulnerability pierced me. The crash revealed the truth, but my feelings were real before that. We talked deep into the night, unraveling knots of resentment. A controversial twist emerged when Emily reappeared, seeking reconciliation. Over coffee, she apologized haltingly. I didn't understand. But then she dropped a bomb. Dad wants to meet you both. He's changing. Jordan hesitated, memories of rejection fresh. Why now? The decision sparked our fiercest argument yet. You can't forgive them so easily, I insisted, projecting my own unresolved grief. And you can't hold on to hate forever, he countered. We visited Texas, a journey fraught with anxiety. The family home, a sprawling ranch, felt like enemy territory. Jordan's father, stern and aged, extended a hand. I followed the news. Proud of you, son. Tears flowed, but skepticism lingered. Emily confided later. It took your story to open his eyes. Back in Seattle, Jordan reflected. Forgiveness isn't weakness. I pondered if the same applied to us. As months passed, our bond strengthened amid trials. A personal health scare, Jordan's routine checkup revealing stress-related issues, forced us to prioritize. We need balance, I said, planning a vacation to Hawaii. There, under palm trees, we renewed commitments. No more secrets, he vowed. But controversy brewed anew. A documentary filmmaker approached, wanting our story. It could inspire, Jordan enthused. I balked. Or exploit. The debate divided us, mirroring public discourse on authenticity in LGBTQ narratives. Are we heroes or hypocrites? Online trolls asked. We agreed to the project with conditions. Filming unearthed painful memories, but also catharsis. During interviews, Jordan admitted, Alex's deception saved me from myself. I added, love isn't perfect. It's persistent. The release sparked nationwide debate. Reviews praised the raw emotion, but critics accused sensationalism. Protests at screenings highlighted divides. Some saw hope, others betrayal. In the aftermath, our life stabilized. The firm thrived, we mentored young lawyers, and society inched forward. Bills passed, attitudes shifted. Yet, questions remained. With the documentary's buzz fading, we settled into a rhythm that felt earned, not fabricated. Jordan's health improved, our routines laced with quiet joy. Weekend farmers markets, evening runs along the waterfront. But the accident's legacy persisted. A faint scar on my forehead, a metaphor for visible flaws in our union. Professional triumphs mounted. We won a landmark case against workplace discrimination, setting precedents that rippled across the country. Media hailed Jordan as a reformed icon, but he deflected. It's about the cause, not me. I stood by, proud yet reflective. Had my initial deceit been the catalyst or a curse? Personal growth intertwined with societal shifts. Friends reconciled with us, attending our commitment ceremony. A small affair in a Seattle park, surrounded by cherry blossoms. Vows exchanged under spring sun. Through truth and trials, I choose you. Emily attended, a tentative bridge to family. Yet, undercurrents of conflict persisted. A backlash article accused us of profiting from pain, sparking online harassment. Fakers don't deserve happy endings, one comment read. We weathered it, but it tested resilience. Does society ever fully forgive? Jordan mused. As time healed, we advocated more boldly. Jordan testified before Congress on LGBTQ rights. His story a powerful narrative. Change starts with confronting complicity. Applause thundered, but skeptics whispered. In private, we navigated lingering doubts. One night, stargazing on the balcony, I asked, "Do you ever regret us?" He pulled me close. Regret the pain? Yes. Regret you? Never. His words soothed, but introspection lingered. Our story became a touchstone for debates. Ethics of deception in pursuit of justice, redemption's validity. Podcasts invited us, audiences divided. Was it manipulation or destiny? A host posed. Life moved forward. We adopted a dog, symbolizing new beginnings. The firm expanded, hiring diverse talent. Society evolved, more protections, less tolerance for bias, but progress was uneven. Reflecting on 3 years, from facade to authenticity, I marveled at the journey. The accident hadn't just revealed secrets, it forced reckonings. In the end, love prevailed, flawed and fierce. But one question lingers, sparking endless discussion. Was faking love to expose injustice ultimately right or irrevocably wrong?